Good morning. This is the Knitty Witch Podcast, episode 5. I am Vanessa Knitty Witch on Instagram and Ravelry. You could also find me at knittywitch.com or Knitty Witch Shop on Etsy. You can email me at knittywitchshop@gmail.com, or if you go to my Instagram, there is a little email button. You can click that and that will take you to my email. Feel free to direct message me on Instagram, to comment. I answer everything. I read everything. I appreciate everyone's interactions and comments and messages, and it's just been such a great experience to interact with everyone. So, as you know, with my podcast, I'm usually this big nervous mess. But I will say that filming Vlogtober has really helped me become more comfortable being in front of the camera and realizing that it's okay if things don't go exactly the way that I want them to, or if I forget to say something, it's going to be fine. So I have so much to talk about. Let me say that I come to you from Dover, Delaware, where I live with my fiance, Brandon, who some of you may have met this weekend, our combined children, and my dog, Zeus. So let's talk about my finished object, which is my Rhinebeck sweater. This was such a joy to knit, and I had so much fun making it. Let me stand up for you. So here we go. This is Post Grad by Alicia Plummer. Here's my pocket detail there. Turn around. I know that this isn't the best way to view this, but if you notice, I do have a little different patterning here, which I'm not concerned about. This is where I switched skeins, and the skeins were a little bit different, and that is okay. It is beautiful. Here's the neckband collar with the different colors, and I did add different contrasting cuffs. So let me just say that this sweater is my most favorite sweater in my wardrobe right now. I love the construction of this sweater. I love the knit. I love the pattern. I love the yarn. This is my ideal sweater. And I am so happy, just so happy and over the moon with this knit. Alicia Plummer is an amazing designer. She's one of my favorites. I love her aesthetic. She reached out to me a couple times during my making process, and that just goes to show what an amazing designer that she is, that she reached out to give me some tips and to comment and talk about how nice it looked. And she's amazing. She really is a sweetheart. Now, I don't know if she remembers this. Alicia Plummer was the first designer that I came across when I first started knitting in 2009. I bought one of her patterns. I never made it because it was a little advanced for me. And by advanced, I mean, I was making dishcloths. It wasn't advanced. It just wasn't in my skill set yet. Excuse me. So I reached out to her and commented, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but she commented back and she started a conversation with me. And this was years ago. She is a designer. She has plenty of things going on, but she took the time out of her day to talk to a new knitter. And that really inspired me, because as a new knitter, she really could have kind of broken my spirit a little bit if she would have acted differently or not interacted. I might have had a little bit of a different experience in the knitting world, but she reached out to me and she was so kind, and she was the first person that was that kind to me and that I interacted with in the knitting world. And it really just opened up so many doors for me and kept me knitting and drew me into this community of amazing knitters and knitwear designers. So Alicia, thank you so much. She is a doll, and I couldn't be happier. So I did wear this sweater for about 2 minutes the first day of Rhinebeck, and I had to take it off because it was it said 77. I think it got hotter than that. It was so hot. I did get to wear it on Sunday when the weather cooled down a little bit more, and that was really nice. I'll talk about that in a second. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about my projects, and then I will go into all of Rhinebeck. So I have been working on, well, let me say, I knit the sweater out of Neighborhood Fiber Co. in the Cooper Circle and Upton colorways. I used a size 7 40-inch needle, and I found that when I'm knitting, if you've watched my vlogs, I'm starting to realize the more sweaters that I make, that while I am wider up top because of my bust size, I'm a 36, and I say I'm 5'3", 150 pounds, and a 34 double D, if that helps with measurements for you. So I knit the size 38, and I'm realizing as I knit more sweaters that even though I'm wider on top, I'm still small everywhere else. So I have been knitting the sleeves to the recommended length. I've been knitting the length to the recommended length for my size, and they're all coming out too long. So what I've decided to do, and what I did with this sweater and how I modified it, was I knit the shorter sleeve size for the size small. I did keep the length because I like long sweaters, but I'm going to have to take that into consideration when I knit for future sweaters. I'm going to have to shorten the sleeves and knit the smaller sleeve size. I love how the sleeve comes right there on the middle of my hand. That's where I love my sleeves to fall. So I found that because this is superwash and it grows, I knit the red color to my bracelet length, and then I knit the inch of ribbing in black, and it came to about here. And then when it grew this much. So that's the modification that I'm going to be making to my sweater and future sweaters from now on, is to knit shorter sleeves and maybe even a shorter length, and then keep the shaping and the width the same. So the next thing that I took to Rhinebeck with me to knit was my spooky socks for the Spooky Socks Make-Along, hosted by Moonglow Yarn Co., Knitty Natty, and the Crazy Sock Lady. These socks are living in my Hohi bag. Ooh, the sun is shining today. In my Hohi bag. I showed this on the vlog, but this is one of her little box bags. Oh, that's a much better view. So there we go. That looks a lot better. So this is one of her box bags, and I had to get it because it was dusty pink, which is one of my favorite colors. You open this up here, and look at how much room is in there. So there's my skein, or my ball of yarn, and I have a little Notions tin in there. And here's where I have gotten. So this is a pattern by me. I design all my own socks using math. Here we go. So I have used these, we'll call them light bulb stitch markers for now. If you watched my vlog, you know where I'm going with this. So here I have marked every 20 rows. I have used this adorable stitch marker by Clay Cannon it's a pumpkin scarecrow, to mark where my heel is going to go, where I'm going to cut out the afterthought heel. And I am on the leg right now. So that's how far, that's sock 1. I haven't been really working on this much because we just had a lot going on this weekend. So I will be knitting the length of my sock the exact same. I like crew socks because I wear a lot of boots. So I will knit the top leg length the same length that I knit the foot minus the toe. So if I were to fold this, that's how much I have to go to knit for this sock. So that's how my spooky socks are coming along. I'm loving them. I love vanilla socks and I love self-striping socks. So I'm using the yarn by Hoverland. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I will put the name up and I will put the link below in the description box. I did not have a ball band, so I'm not sure of the colorway. I bought it at Fiber Space in Alexandria, Virginia, and it came out of a bin and there wasn't any tag with it. So those are my spooky socks. I have been working on Shawlography, but I'm gonna wait to show Shawlography at the very end, even though I'm behind. This way, if you don't want to see it and you're still trying to work towards the mystery, I don't ruin it for everyone. But those are the 3 things I've been working on. I've been working on my sweater, which I finished, working on the socks, and working on Shawlography. So here's what you've been waiting for. Rhinebeck. What an amazing experience. Before I get into Rhinebeck, let me prequel that with Cake Palooza. So I did not know that India Untangled was going to be a thing this year. I didn't hear much about it. I apologize. They are changing the dumpster out. Of course they would do that when I'm filming a podcast. So if you can hear that, I apologize. But I did not know about India Untangled this year because I heard about Cake Palooza first, and I didn't realize that both would be running simultaneously. Had I known that, I would have bought tickets to both, timed different time slots, went to both, but that's okay. I had so much fun. So Cake Palooza kicked off. It was on Friday, and it was an event hosted by Cake Wool Co. I think that's what it's called, Cake Wool Co. And it was at their studio, and they had an outdoor event set up and all sorts of vendors were there. It was so much fun. Chelsea Yarns was there. We had Asylum Fibers, Black Pearl Magic, a few other vendors. Kimberly McAlinden was there, the designer, who is a dear friend of mine. And she's just a doll. Like, Kimberly, I love you. Her positivity is incredible. She just is sunshine in human form. So she was there, and when I had the 2 o'clock time slot, so we waited and we got our wristbands, and then when 2 o'clock rolled around, they let us in. And the first place that I wanted to go was Black Pearl Magic because I had seen Shayla's bags online and I wanted to meet her, and I had to have one of her bags. And wouldn't you know it, that when I went to reach for the bag that I had been waiting for to purchase, I literally bumped into someone, and that someone was Beth. Beth is MD Quilter Knits, and she is part of my Love and Stitches membership group. It's funny because she lives in Maryland and I haven't had the opportunity to come out and see her yet, but we both drove like 4 or 5 hours to meet for the first time in Rhinebeck, even though we live like an hour from each other. So I literally bumped into her and we were like, oh, hi, I'm trying to get a bag. So that was a lot of fun. And Shayla's booth was like my heart. It was screaming neon colors, pink, sparkles, you name it. It was home, and I wanted everything in her booth. It was so much fun. So I got to meet her and her husband in person and purchase a few things from them. I got to walk around, and Christy Glass was there doing interviews. If you know who Christy Glass is, she's like, I don't know how to compare her, but she is like the big journalist in the knitting world. What she does is incredible, and she brings everyone's knitting stories to the rest of us. I love watching her interviews. She's a great person. She's so sweet. She was interviewing Chelsea when I was there, so I did not get to say hi to Chelsea and Red Bank Mike or Chad. I really did want to say hello to them, but I'm the type of person where if you're busy, I'm not going to interrupt you. It's it's hard for me to do that. So I did not get to say hi, but I did see them around. Her booth was beautiful. She had amazing things and we had a lot of fun. So I will show you what I got from Cake Palooza at Shayla's booth. I'm gonna have to bend down. This is the bend down because I don't have any tables around me. So I bought a couple of pins. So there's Craft Magic Ouija board planchette, and it's holographic, or not holographic, but chromatic. Oh my God, I cannot wait to put this on my pin board. And then I got this one. I make nice shit by hands. I love it. I am an absolutely profane person. Like, my number one language is profanity. I keep it clean on the podcast because I don't feel like I need to drop an F-bomb every couple seconds for you to understand my point. But I have a potty mouth. I can't help it. So I think that this pin is hilarious. So those are 2 pins I got from her. I wanted to buy, she had so many pins and I wanted all the pins, but I had to limit myself. I didn't want to blow my whole entire budget before I got to Rhinebeck, but it was so hard because I so could have. So here's the bag that I saw online on Shayla's Instagram and I had to have. So this is one of her vinyl star bags. Look at how amazing this is. It is holographic. It is huge, and I bought the little wristlet to go with it. She sold these separately, so I got the wristband. And look at the rainbow zipper. Completely gorgeous. I am so excited about this bag. I do not have a bag like this at all in my project bag stash. And look at how big it is. That's what she said. Sorry, I had to. If you're an Office fan, you'll understand. So that's how big it is. I'm so excited that I was able to snag one of these bags. She had it in pink as well, but I had to have the clear hologram. So I bought that. And then Brandon goes, Vanessa, look. And I looked and I went, oh. Shayla's husband was standing there and he was like, oh, I know that sound. Let me get out of your way. Look at this bag. It is rainbow pot leaves. Look at how, first of all, look at how big this bag is. This is a sweater bag for sure. But just, it is so beautiful. So, struggle bus. So I'm going to be transparent with you guys. I am a medical marijuana card holder. And that doesn't mean anything because I feel like everyone should have access to this amazing drug. It's not a drug. It is natural and it is something that has saved my life. Before I had my medical card, I had just a lot of medical conditions, including chronic pain and anxiety, and being able to have access to something that helps so much, and it's made it so that I can be the person that my family needs me to be. I can be calm, I can be chill, and I don't have to be in pain all the time. And it's just been magic. So when I saw this bag, I had to have it. It is so adorable. Thank you, Shayla, for making this. I'm gonna switch my Shawlography into this bag because I want to use it so bad. I am so excited about it. So that was Cake Palooza. So the next day was Rhinebeck. And this year I decided that I was gonna do something a little different. And I wasn't going to be the first person in line this year. For a few reasons. I just wanted, this is not my first Rhinebeck. I've gone to Rhinebeck every year with the exception of the last few years because of COVID, and then a few years before that just because of different things going on in my life. So it's been about 3 years since I've been to Rhinebeck. However, Rhinebeck is still Rhinebeck, and I've done it before and I've been there, and this time I didn't want to get caught up in it. I wanted to get caught up in the people, and I wanted to get caught up in the atmosphere and not the die-hard shopping this year. And I made this decision last minute because I was going to be the first person in line so that I could get a Jenny the Potter mug. And when it came down to it and I thought about it, that's not the experience I wanted to have this year. So I decided to let everyone do their thing first and then slowly get into Rhinebeck. So I made it to Rhinebeck about maybe 8:30, and I did not stand in line that long. I had this sweater on for about 2 minutes, and then I took it off and I took out my shawl, or not my Shawlography, I took out my slip stravaganza because it was just hot. So I put my slip stravaganza on, and when I put my slip stravaganza on, everyone in the line went, it was such an amazing experience to have people appreciate your work and know the work that went into it and basically fawn over it. It was such an amazing pattern, an amazing knit, and you can see it from far away. It was so vibrant and so bright. So I put that on, and that got people talking to me. So I noticed that let me say, I had an anxiety attack on the way to the festival, which has never happened to me before. But I was just so anxious to get there and to meet everyone. And then when I got there, I clammed up and I started seeing people that I knew, and I didn't know how to approach people and say hello. And once I put slip stravaganza on and people started talking to me, that made it so much easier for me to interact. And I was able to engage in conversation and meet people and have a good time. And that was just standing in line. That was the first half hour of standing in line. So we made it inside, and I walked through the first barn, and it was like empty, which was really weird. Previous Rhinebecks I've been through before, when the gate opens, it's like Black Friday at Walmart. And this year it wasn't like that. This year it was chill. There wasn't as many people. I could see things. I could see vendors. I could walk. I could get in booths. So it was really, really nice. So we went into the barns and walked around and did like a once over and saw everything and saw what kind of there was lying around. And then I started to shop a little. So the first booth that I went to personally was Loop. Steph is amazing. Loop bats they really set the bar high for what spinning fiber should be. So of course, I'm sorry about this light. That's really blown out. The sun is coming up. There we go. So I bought a rainbow bullseye bump. This one is called Gold Rush. It is 4.8 ounces of merino. I could not resist getting another bump. I don't care that I have so many of them, because maybe one day she won't be doing this anymore, and I don't want to be left without her amazing fiber. So I'm stocking up. If you don't know how her fiber works, she not only, like, I think she dyes them too, but she goes to the trouble of, I don't want to pull this because if I pull it, then it's going to come out. But you pull here and it comes out in one long, continuous, pre-drafted strand. So you can just spin and not have to worry about stopping and pre-drafting and pulling apart your fiber. She does it for you, and you can just feed it in to your spinning wheel or your spindle and just keep pulling, and it is flawless. I'm gonna knock over my sign. So that was Loop. I got to talk to her and spend some time with her, and it was so good to see her again. So we walked around for a little bit, we met some people, and then back in the back barns, I came across one of my favorite yarn companies. I didn't even know that there was going to be someone there selling it. So I don't know if the booth was fully that brand of yarn or if it was a shop that sold that brand of yarn. But what I'm talking about is Great Adirondack Yarn Company. Great Adirondack Yarn Company is a yarn company that has been around for a while, because when I first started knitting back in 2009 and started collecting yarn, their yarn drew me in. It is so colorful and the dyeing is beautiful and it is right up my alley. So what I bought from them is, this is called Original Potluck, multiple fibers, colorway blue rainbow, 150 yards. Look at this. So if you've ever seen, or if you're familiar with Prism yarn, this reminds me a lot of Prism Stuff. And that's what it's called, Prism Stuff. It is multiple fibers tied together. Look at how beautiful this is. And I bought, to pair with it, a skein of this. What is it called? It says Well-Dressed Sheep. I don't know if that's if that's what it is, but it's called Galloway. It's an Aran weight, 210 yards. And it is a rainbow skein. So I think that this is going to pair really nicely with this. I am thinking that I'm going to make some sort of cowl, because I don't have that much yardage, but I'm going to put these two together and see what I can design and come up with for this. So yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about this. This is so exciting. So that was Great Adirondack Yarn Company. I also found from a vendor this little, oh, let me put it back here. This little knitted sheep. Look at him. He's so cute. This light is killing me, but there we go. Look at this little sheep. He is so cute, and I'm going to put this on my dream board. I'm going to hang this from my dream board where I have the bird that Jen made me, and now my little sheep is going to go up there too. So that was super cute. I also, let me see. Well, before I show you that purchase, after Cake Palooza, now I'm all over the place. See, now I'm everywhere. After Cake Palooza, I did visit Perfect Blend Yarn and Tea Shop. And at Perfect Blend Yarn and Tea Shop, it was an adorable shop. There was a lot of people there, so it was a little hard to maneuver. But I picked up this Rhinebeck set of stitch markers. And it is so adorable. There's a coffee cup because it's not Rhinebeck if you don't have coffee, because you're gonna need coffee. There is a skein of yarn, a little sheep, a donut, a sweater, and a maple leaf. There we go. And these are by, it says, made by hand in Northridge, California by Birdie Parker. I haven't heard of Birdie Parker, but I definitely want to look up their stuff now. So that was that. I didn't buy very much, but one thing that I couldn't get out of my mind was a spindle from Bosworth. So every year at Rhinebeck or Maryland Sheep and Wool, I end up buying some sort of spindle and fiber and spin. And it's funny because I have wheels, so when I'm home, I spin on my wheel. I don't use a spindle to spin, but I collect them, and I have so many of them. So this year, I said that I wasn't going to do that. I was not going to buy another spindle. I even told Casey, Tangerine Designs, I was like, Casey, I'm not going to do it. I saw a spindle, but I'm not going to buy it this year. Well, I couldn't get it out of my head, and there's a reason why. So this spindle I bought is called Temple Teak. And the reason it's called Temple Teak is because it is the whorl and shaft are made in teak from a Buddhist temple downed by an earthquake. So I have a piece of history. This is one of their historical spindles. They have their standard spindles, and then they have historical spindles, and then they have the moosey. And the moosey is made from a moose antler that is shed when they shed them every year. So they're harvested and they make them into spindles. That's on my list for next year. But Temple Teak, how amazing is it that every time I spin, I'm spinning with wood from a Buddhist temple in India. So if you've been watching my vlogs, you've seen me spinning. But look at how beautiful this is. The wood is just absolutely gorgeous. It's this beautiful brown. And it's lightweight. It is only 0.6 ounces or 17 grams. And I'm in love. I'll roll this up. So that was my spindle. And the fiber I picked up to go with that is actually from Wild Hair Fibers. And Wild Hair, it says, sorry, no rabbits. Wild Hair was not there, but another vendor was carrying their stuff. And look at this beautiful braid of just like black rainbow. So this is spinning up beautifully. This is called Illusion, and it's 75% merino and 25% bamboo rayon. It's 4 ounces. And I'm telling you, when I'm spinning with this, it is just like butter. It is drafting beautifully. I'm loving this spin, and I'm loving this fiber. So I'll be spinning this up on my Temple Teak spindle, drop spindle. So that's all my acquisitions from Rhinebeck. Now I'm going to talk, there's fibers in the air. Now I'm going to talk about just my experience in general. So after shopping, we got to meet up on the hill for the podcaster meetup, and I got to meet all of my favorite people. I was fortunate enough to meet Needles at the Ready. Needles at the Ready is one of my favorite podcasts. Kevin and Ray are such a joy to watch. I'm interested in everything that they have to say. I love that they share with us their makes and their life, and they are just as amazing in person as they are on camera. I got to hold a conversation with them and I was over the moon. I also got to meet Natalie of Knitty Natty and the Love and Stitches membership, and we had such an amazing time together. We got to spend some time together on Saturday, and we also spent all day together on Sunday because she came alone on Sunday. And it is just, you could do it on your own, but it's just not as fun if you don't have someone with you. And she hung around with us, and I really got to know her, and it was such an incredible time. She is an amazing, amazing person, and I'm so glad to have formed that friendship with her. I saw my friend Linda. I saw Penny Moons, Megan. I got to see Andrea Mowry, the owner of Do You Knit was there. Who else? La Biena May was there. I made so many new friends. I got to meet so many amazing people. I handed out my stitch markers because what's Rhinebeck without stitch markers? I just wanted everyone to have something fun to go home with, and I'm glad that I got to do that for everyone. But meeting up on the hill was my favorite part of Rhinebeck. That's what it's all about. It's all about the people and forming those friendships and seeing those people on Instagram. Oh, how can I forget? I met one of my longest and biggest supporters, Knit In. It was so nice to finally meet you in person. It was so nice to meet your family and to meet your granddaughters and get to hug you and spend that, what little time that we did have together meant the world to me. So I am so happy to have met you. And I feel that way about everyone. I am so happy to have met everyone. I met Wendy and made an amazing friend in her, Warm Stripes, I think her Instagram handle is. And if I've forgotten anyone, I'm sorry, but I am just so overwhelmed by the amazing outpouring of love and support that I received from everyone. And it was such a blast. On Sunday, we went back, and it was more of a chill day. Me and Natalie went around and we pet some sheep. So I got to pet a sheep, and he was leaning into me, and I was petting his ears, and he bit my nail. And we just had such an amazing time. I got to meet Natalie's friend Rebecca, who's Chateau Willow, who is an amazing person. She was such a joy to be around. Everyone, thank you. Thank you for coming up to me. There's a few people that I wanted to meet that I didn't get the opportunity to meet. And the reason why is because if you had someone talking to you, or you were in a conversation with someone or in a group of people, I found, due to my own anxiety, it was just really difficult for me to approach someone. It was easier for me to approach someone if they were standing on their own or with like one other person. But if they were in a group of people, I couldn't do it. I tried and I couldn't do it. Like the Bearded Pearl, Justin and Caleb, I wanted to say hello to them, and I tried a few times, but they were talking and I didn't want to interrupt their conversation. I did see them. I was so happy to see them there. I did not get to say hello, and I'm a little bit regretful of that because I missed my opportunity. I should have just mustered up the courage and went up to them and said hello, but I don't want to, if they were in a conversation with someone, I didn't want to take away from that person's experience and ruin that person's experience of speaking with them. So I let them have, you know, that, and I just didn't want to interrupt. So I'm sorry if I didn't say hello to you. I really tried to get around to as many people as possible. But everyone who came up to me made it a lot easier for me, because if you come up to me and start talking to me, I'll start talking to you. It was just a little harder for me to get out of my comfort zone and initiate conversation. But it was an amazing time, and I cannot wait to go back next year. And also, I am looking forward to Maryland Sheep and Wool. Maryland Sheep and Wool is the first weekend in May. So if anyone is going to that, that is another festival that I go to, and I cannot wait for another festival. There's this thing called the Rhinebeck Hangover, or the festival hangover, where after interacting with everyone, you're worn out from walking. And this year, I didn't really have a Rhinebeck hangover. I'm just really excited to get back out there and see more people. Like, I'm ready for the next festival. Let's do this. I just had so much fun. So it was really, really an amazing weekend. So I do have a few other things to show you. I do have some acquisitions that are not Rhinebeck related, so I will share those with you now. So Knitted Bliss on Instagram had a sale in her shop, and she does embroidery. I'm not really a cross stitcher. Let me stay back here. That light is right in my face. I'm not really a cross stitcher, but I do like embroidery. It's something that I did when I was younger. So I picked up these embroidery kits from her. So this one is flowers, and it's all pink. And I really want to get this done so I can hang it up on my wall. And it comes with everything you need in this kit. And then the next one I got was Yarn for Days, and it's all little skeins of yarn. These are absolutely adorable, and I can't wait to get working on these and get them up on my wall in my yarn room. Another purchase I made is from Lila Styles. And when I came across this, I had to have it because I was born in 82. I am 39 years old, so you don't have to do the math. And this is my childhood. Look at this bag. It has everything on there. The Snorks, Pink Panther. It is like everything. And then it has this little gummy bear zipper pull. So of course I had to get the bag. And then the bag would not be complete if it did not come with a yarn cozy. So I ordered a yarn cozy. And then I also ordered the tape measure and matching scissors to go with it. It says little scissor sheath. And this is Rainbow Bright. Rainbow Bright was everything to me in my childhood. I live and die by Rainbow Bright. Everything about rainbows, she set the standard for my love of rainbows. Her and Baby Bright. I don't know if you remember Baby Bright, but it was Rainbow Bright's little baby sister. So that's from Lila Styles. The last thing I have to show with you today is my Shawlography. So if you do not want to see Shawlography, now let me say that I'm on clue 1. I did not make it to clue 2 yet. I am working to catch up because I finished my sweater first. I did let myself get a little behind. But if you do not want to see clue 1, then you can end this video here, and I will see you again soon, and you can catch me in my vlogs or in the next episode. And if you are ready to see Shawlography some of clue 1, because I'm not even done with clue 1, then here we go. So my Cholegraphy is living in my Magner bag. There we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here's where I'm at. I have yet to pick up the stitches to go around, and I cannot wait to block this because I know that when it gets blocked, these colors are gonna pop. The sun is really killing me today. It's like right in my face. So that is my Shawlography Clue 1. And I am so happy with my yarn choice for this. I feel like any other color wouldn't have been me. Like, this is so me, and I'm loving every moment of it. It's a really fun knit. And with all of, I don't want to say all of Stephen's patterns, but with the mystery knit-alongs, he does have tutorial videos to go with it. So if it's something that you're being or you feel that you're intimidated by, don't allow yourself to be intimidated, because he holds your hand and he walks you through it, and anyone can do this. It is so much fun. And if you haven't signed up and you didn't start Cholegraphy as in the very beginning, there's still time to jump in. And even if you don't catch up, you could still knit it and have fun with us knitting at the same time. So that is my Cholegraphy. So let me look around. I think, oh, how could I forget? I have one more thing to show you. Are you guys familiar with Polly Studios? Because Polly Studios does amazing pottery, and he does a lot of, or they do, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's a he, but they do a lot of nerd and knitting related items. I hope no one's easily offended. So here is my yarn bowl. Try to like get out of the sun. So here is my yarn bowl. And it is in the Unicorn Farts, he said, colorway. Can we just say how adorable that is? I mean, I call it adorable. I can't. It is too funny. I love this yarn bowl. So this is definitely going to go in my yarn bowl collection. I don't really use yarn bowls to knit out of. I keep them up on the top here because I use project bags to knit out of, so I don't really find a use for yarn bowls, but I love collecting them. And I had to have this one to add to my collection. So yeah, this is awesome and one of my favorite things that I got from Rhinebeck this weekend. All right, so I have nothing left to show you. I hope I covered everything. I had such a great time. I can't wait for next year. It was so good seeing everyone. I know I keep saying that, but it really was. I want to leave you with this. I don't have anything grand to say. I don't have a quote for you, but I want to leave you with something positive. And that positivity is, I'm your friend. I'm everyone's friend. I love you all. I think you're all amazing. You're all my friends. I'm so glad to have met you and made contact. And even if I haven't made contact and you're just commenting on my YouTube and you're commenting on my Instagram and interacting with me that way, we're friends. I love you. You are awesome. So please keep up with that. Keep up with messaging me, and you guys are awesome. So as usual, remember, be beautiful, be you, and make magic wherever you go. Have a good day, guys.